So, living Sufism, consider for a moment that this is pointing to a question, which is, for the moment, how do we live Sufism? And remembering where we've come from, we entered some months back, we entered here and now, right here, right now. And in fact, we've stayed there as we explored the mistaken separation, as we warmed that dormant heart. So here we are about to enter what we've called the vacant body. I'm particularly pleased and excited about this program because, after all, we can only be here together because we have, in this moment, been blessed with a body. It's such a gift. It's an opportunity. In a certain way, it's a miracle. And with this program, we're going to be asking you to join us as we literally seek to embody our offerings to you today. So how do we know our bodies? How we sense the mystery that we exist is not explained, but experienced by our awareness in and of our bodies, with all the challenges, and there will be challenges, with both curiosity and joy. That experience allows an awakening, a celebration, as we feel its rhythms, as we hear deeply its songs. Do we know the limitations of our bodies? Well, may we wonder of our relationship with this world in a way that we learn it is not the separateness that defines our physical place, but our connections that confirm we are a part of a whole. And if we are, as I gently suggest, inextricably a part of all, can we also imagine the body as an integral part of an esoteric practice, unifying us with our sense of the divine? It is that awakening of the sense of the mystery within us, which allows us, for example, to sit in contemplation of words simply spoken, yet rich in wisdom traditions, so that as we rest and receive these words, we are transformed, we are opened and touched here in our bodies. Yet with all of this, we still live in a world of reaching out and reaching in, where our bodies serve as a bridge for these inner and outer worlds that we inhabit, that we enliven, where we experience our oneness and as well our beloved community. So welcome, one and all, and please come along with us on this exploration of our vacant body. Angelica?
Thank you, Isha. Hello, everyone, and welcome. So what do you feel of your body right now? Does your body feel full or empty? If your body feels full, what is it full of? And if you feel empty, vacant right now, is this because you're not particularly conscious of your body in this moment, or because you're totally relaxed? Like the whole of our universe, our body is actually in constant motion, subtle and gross, internal and external. And the movement is made up of vibration and rhythms. Our bodies have a complex internal orchestra playing all the time harmoniously and rhythmically. Most of this orchestra we are usually unaware of, but it is what is keeping us alive. It is our aliveness. I invite us for a moment to feel into a part of this rhythmic band. Just take a hand, place it on your belly. Notice the rise and fall of your belly with your breath. Now, take your other hand, placing 2 fingers on the side of your neck. Notice the rhythmic pulse of the blood as it is pumped through your vein. Notice those 2 rhythms, playing differently but harmoniously. Now, thirdly, maybe notice each time your eyelids blink. Maybe even give them a couple of blinks. Adding a third to the hundreds of rhythms which are the miracle that is your aliveness right now. The peristalsis of your guts, the twitching of your muscles, small muscular movements of your balance, cycles of energy between sleep and waking, cycles of hunger, and so on. Just like the ebb and flow of the tides, the rise and fall of the ocean waves, waxing and waning of the moon, sunrise, sunset, the seasons, the movement of the planets. All of these make up just a few of the rhythms of our external world. Hazrat Inayat Khan told us that rhythm in every guise, be it game, play, poetry, music, dance, is the very nature of man's whole constitution. And when the whole mechanism of the body is working in rhythm, the pulse, the heart, blood, hunger, thirst, then all is well. He said it's the breaking of the rhythms that causes dis-ease. He also told us that every rhythm has its effect within us, upon us, on our physical and on our mental bodies. Another comment he makes, which I like a lot, is that rhythm can produce an ecstasy in man, an ecstasy which is inexplicable and incomparable with any other source of intoxication. I think I might have verified this for myself at times. This, he notes, is why dance has been the most fascinating pastime of all people across history and civilizations. Can you dance? Do you dance? And how does listening or moving to different rhythms make you feel? I, for one, often feel sad when someone says, I can't dance. But I think what they're usually referring to is to forms of dance, that they do not know how to do a particular form, such as the tango or the Irish jig. Therefore, they believe they cannot dance. We can become attached to the idea of form rather than to a relaxed attunement to rhythm, which is our birthright, and which is simply about being alive and responsive. An attachment to dance as display and performance is in contrast to a simple surrender to spontaneous, attuned movement in response to the call of a rhythm, a beat. So you may have noticed if some loud, joyful, rhythmic drumming music starts to sound in a room full of people, then it is likely that most people's bodies will start spontaneously moving in response to the rhythm in no time at all. And furthermore, they will probably start to feel quite good. in spite of what their beliefs may tell them. Gabrielle Roth, our 20th century wonderful creator of spontaneous, non-performative movement to a range of rhythms, told us that rhythm is our universal mother tongue. It is the language of the soul. So, if you don't already do so, may I suggest that you choose a piece of rhythmic music that you like and maybe play it for a few minutes or more in your kitchen every day this month. Relax, no intention, just surrender and let your body respond to it, however it may, small or large. Then watch how this makes you feel. Dance as if no one's watching. Thank you. Over to you, Bina.
Thank you, Angelica. Thank you for tuning us so sensitively to our rhythms, priming our embodied canvas. Let's take a breath or two and let all that you've heard, let it settle. Welcome, everyone. What I'm offering is an experience involving a series of movements and vocalizations to open up our bodies, to celebrate and find joy in being alive, and to create space to go more deeply within. Throughout, I shall be guiding with my voice, and there will be swift transitions of bodily states defining this arc of experience. Now, usually I would be saying to get comfortable in your seats, but there will be movements that mean leaving your seats and using the space around you. But if that's not possible, you can participate seated, moving with what is doable for you. Self-care is important, so please stay within your limits. Also, if you are moving around, make sure you have enough space to move in. As a guide, if the space allows you to put your arms out, like so, in circle, you will have enough. So let's be playful, let's be free, letting go of any inhibitions. I shall be doing this with you, so that includes me. And remember what Angelica said, dance as if no one is watching or listening in the case of vocalizations. Okay, let's begin. Let's begin by charging up our energy, and let's do that with rubbing our palms together and breathing strongly. So good inhale with your nose, good exhale with your mouth. And as you generate some heat with your palms, just find yourself placing it on your body where it feels like it wants to be, just where you want to put some attention. So charging up and then placing parts of your body, the parts that really need it the most. Maybe your throat, your buttocks. Maybe you want to do some stroking as well, just to really bring your skin and what's underneath alive. And now let's just do some tapping. Now this you can do, of course, seated as well. But if you want to tap your buttocks, then you might need to stand. But let's do some tapping. And you, probably many of you have done tapping before. You can start with your arms, up and down your arms, and then tapping down your torso into your legs. Really important, down to your feet. and up each side of your leg, down inside and up on the outside. Just notice how it feels to receive this tapping. What's happening to your body? What feedback is it giving you? Maybe different in different parts. Just don't forget the head. And now let's move into some shaking. If you're standing, you can start shaking, stand with your legs from your hips down and moving up vertically. Sitting, I guess you can do the same, but you might want to do a bit more horizontal shaking if you're in your chair. Just do what feels right to you to start shaking up your body. Noticing what's happening to your breath. You can hear mine. Keep your breathing strong. We're all bringing everything alive, and the shaking is just opening us up, letting go of tensions. Hopefully you're feeling energized and just really, the body really coming alive and alert. Now let's get into some light slapping. Just again, follow where you want to make the contact. Saying hello. You want to say hello to your colon, hello to your buttocks, hello to your ribs, hello to your chest, hello neck. As you start to snap your body, just find yourself moving. You notice that you're making sounds. So your body is becoming a drum. It's an instrument. Yourself come into the rhythms, as Angelica alerted us to. Find your rhythm. Just let the sounds and the slapping of your body. And now you can start to add to some sounds with some percussion, and maybe letting your body just move as it wants to. Even in your chair, you can move as you can to these rhythms. Just feel that joy. Maybe if you know a bit of flamenco, you know there's wonderful clapping you can do. Claras. Sordas, softer. Okay, now you're in the dance. Just let yourself go. Let yourself be joyful and in your body. Maybe some sounds are coming. Let them come. Even sounds that you don't even maybe recognize. Yeah, let whatever wants to show up. Come on, let's call up the sounds. We're in the carnival now. Kee-oh. Come on, I can't hear you, but I can feel you. Kee-oh. Call them up. Let the sounds come. Let them show up. In your rhythm, in your dance, you are dancing. Gather from the earth. This is Gaia meeting Uranus. Reaching up. It's their marriage. And we're all in it. Just let yourself completely go, go, go. Let's go, go, go. Yes. And now, just start to let yourself coming more back into your body, gathering your energy. staying with your movements, but maybe slowing them down now. Just bringing them into a quieter, softer space. Oh, 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 oh. Maybe different sounds are coming up now. Just feeling your body open, alive, and just in this moment. And as you start to slow the pace and come into the quietness of your body, just notice how more receptive you're becoming to what's happening inside. How is it feeling right now? Just taking a moment just to be in stillness. And even if you just shake your fingers a little just to loosen up any energy there. Taking your breath deep in. I invite you to come into your listening body, this receptive place. You may want to shut your eyes at this point, if it feels comfortable to do so. Just listen. Listen to all the different parts of your body as you connect with them. And in this listening, maybe coming from the ground up or from the liminal, or from deep within you, in this listening, a melody is arising, wanting to be known. Maybe a simple sequence of sounds, this melody, but it's yours. It's yours in this moment, arising from the space you've created and the celebration you've been expressing of your body. Let this melody just spontaneously arise through your body, coming to your throat. You may want to stroke your throat to ease the passage, to welcome it, to be expressed in the outer world. You may want to begin with a hum. And then you can open it up. I will sing mine silently now so that you can just be with your melody. Let it come out. Get to know it. Let it sound. Let it evolve as it will. You may have movements that go with this. Really help you express this melody and what feelings are coming up with this melody that's yours in this moment. Take a few moments to just explore this and sound it. Maybe touch the parts of your body that feel really connected to this melody. I'm sure your melodies are beautiful, and I also love to hear them all. Just letting them, feeling them on the waves. And now, having expressed your melody to the world, to yourself and to the world, take it inside. So you are seeing it inside, but outwardly you're being silent. Your lips are closed, but your melody is inside of you and you can hear it. How magical is that? Notice how close or far it feels in your body, where it sits in the space in your body. Where would you locate it? You may want to take your melody on a tour of your body. Take it to the places that would so long to be sung to, the intimacy of being sung to be given this tuning. This sweet melody visiting all of you in your body. And now, dear as it is your melody, allow it to dissolve into silence, into the ocean of silence, the essence of all sound, letting it go into that ocean. Oh, blessed silence. If your eyes were closed, you may open them now. You are grounded. You are awake. You are here. Hard to leave the silence. Thank you. Thank you for participating. You may want to revisit this process, or at least some of it, and explore in your own time, at your own pace. Play with it, enjoy it. Thank you again. Over to you, Trace.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Before moving on, let's all take a breath. And as we breathe out and out for a moment, rest just a little more. So now, beyond the personal rhythms of breath and voice and movement, thank you, Angelica, warmly, and thank you, Bina. Let's consider how these awakened bodies are able and perhaps even designed to extend even further. This very body is itself a call. Here I am. The response, another breath, the next beat of my heart, a new itch or pain or sudden laugh or rhythm that rocks me up onto my feet. Does that enlivenment stop at this skin? I think that's up to me. John O'Donohue warns, we have fallen out of belonging. We have fallen out of belonging. Consider even the simplest truths of your belonging body. That when you breathe, air is your body. That when you lay down in sleep, gravity is your body. When you speak, the ears of others are your body. When you sip your coffee, the volcanoes of Guatemala are your body, including last year's rains and the hands that cultivated and harvested those beans, and the dead dinosaurs in the gas tanks of the trucks that carry the beans down the mountains. When I open past the edges of this me body, the reality of a larger body comes alive in felt rhythms of interdependence, kinship, belonging, and love. A worldwide call and response we might call the we body. This isn't conceptual, but embodied in relations, and not just human, but more than human. This we body is whatever you belong together with, and is the felt body, really, of beloved community. Look around you, really, look around you. How far does your body go? Family, friends, maybe a cat on your lap, if you're lucky. Yeah. But what about this crow that hollers every morning from the same tree? Or the windstorm that's right now crashing the branches of that tree together? What about the next door neighbor you never see? the dirt your spring onions are deeply planted in. Maybe a forest burning 900 miles away. Maybe the frightened face of a stranger underneath a newspaper headline. How far do you belong? Opening my own heart a little, I notice it can open a lot, beat by beat, into an ecology of belonging together, limited only by the idea I have of edges. In the one body world, everything calls to everything. Everything responds. Everything depends on everything. Edges are optional. So we'd like to propose a chilla for feeling into this one body, we body world. As an embodied task, a chilla represents an opportunity to extend the edges of who I think I am, what I think is possible, or even real. Naturally, you may accept this chilla or not, but please take this moment to open your heart sincerely to what is offered. Importantly, this is a chilla you won't make as a single individual, a me, but as a collective body, a we. It consists of a daily move, simple, but dedicated to discovery. An embodied question, multiplied and resonant in the extended body of all who participate. The move has just 3 parts. I'm going to stand back a little to demonstrate so you can see what I'm doing. The 3 parts are I am this. And I encourage you to have your eyes open. I. So at the level of your navel, hara, cup the back of your right hand in the palm of your left hand, elbows out. For a moment, feel into and savor the aliveness of your personal body, your breath, your beating heart, your bum on your chair, your melody, your rhythm, your I am. Turn out the arms and extend them up and out, open to the extended body of belonging together that you feel. Belonging not just in general, not conceptually, but in and to the particulars. Not just crows, but that crow. Let your open arms be a question, a call. Here and now, look around, feel how far does your body go? This. Scoop the arms feelingly back into the center of your body, palms of the hands meeting together, not on, but just before your heart, in the big heart now of the one body world. Belonging together, feel the beat of this extended aliveness. So we're going to practice this move together. And to do so, we'll go briefly into gallery view, still muted. So find the top right menu of your Zoom screen and click into that, find gallery view, and go there, where just for today, we'll see ourselves practicing this move together. Ready? I am this. I am this. I am this. Thank you. We're gonna move out of gallery view back into speaker view now. Everybody find speaker view. So as an extended body then, in this chilla, we'll repeat the move 3 times, once each morning for 7 days, starting tomorrow. The instructions are posted on the resource page. Just remember, keep your eyes open, not closed. You can say the words or not. You can change the words if you want to, but try to create that relationship that you feel. To be clear, though, this is not an on-screen gathering. Each of us will move on our own wherever we are, knowing at the same time that we'll be moving together. As an anchor, I'm just going to say 9 a.m. Whatever is your 9 a.m. will do. Personally, I've been looking forward to this ripple effect each day as this chilla spans our multiple locations and time zones. This was a ripple practice. Tomorrow morning at 9, together as one, will ripple to life again. Till then. Puran.
Thank you. I hope this variety of ways that we're offering awakening to the body suggests to you that there's no one way to do this, but that once we become more aware of our physicality, that we will be guided by the body to be more fully present in every moment. Consider that our bodies are both the instrument through which we experience the world around us and the central physical location of this emergent organic phenomenon we call existence. In other words, the body is not just how we connect to the material world around us. It doesn't just provide the agency for us to affect that world and be affected by it. It is, in a very real way, that world. This is especially clear if you understand what Pir Elias points to through his essay, The Beloved Community, being an inextricable part of the air we breathe, the water around us, the creatures we interact with. In a very real way, we are the world. This world that we are is often described by Sufis as the manifestation of the attributes of God, or in common parlance, the attributes of the One, or as Elias says, immanence. It's important to understand, I think, that these attributes are not qualities of the immanence itself. After all, the immanence is empty, faceless, edgeless, contentless. It has no characteristics. These attributes arise in the experience of the immanent becoming evident. In that liminal space, in that interspace between spirit and matter, we might say simplistically, that's where the attributes are to be found. To comprehend this, the Sufis suggest we give these attributes names, and they begin with the 99 beautiful names of Allah that are found in the Quran. But that is by no means the only names. There's an infinite number of attributes, of names. For example, rootedness is an attribute that makes trees and plant life possible, but it also exists well beyond the organic realm. We could say that a culture is rooted in a set of values, beliefs, assumptions. A tribe of people can be rooted, so rooted in an environment that, quote unquote, transplanting them would harm them. We might even say that faith is a kind of rooting ourselves in this ever-changing reality we are obliged to live in. How do we access this? The Sufis have a practice called Wazifa, in which one of the holy names is taken and repeated as a way of absorbing the energies and the influence of that particular attribute. We might adapt this practice and use the body as the resonant vessel for the absorption of an attribute rather than the voice. For example, let's take the attribute of unconditional kindness that Elias points to as the third aspect of the open path. We could begin by thinking of the importance of love in the existence of unconditional kindness. And we might use one of the holy names, one of the beautiful names of Allah, Wadud, the loving one, often referred to as the source of love. But rather than using the name, let's see if we can just invite the energy into our bodies. Here's how we can do this. Please sit back Let your eyes close. Take a good deep breath and let it out slowly. And now, as you relax into your body, relax into your place, into where you are, think about loving, the loving one, and let images of loving arise in your mind, images and scenarios of experiences where there has been loving, where you have been loving or loved. Let yourself experience, re-experience the deepest, the sweetest, the most wonderful loves that you have witnessed or experienced. And as you do that, allow the warm flow of love to enter your bloodstream and your lungs. But keep your attention on the images, on the scenarios. Gently open your eyes once again and put your hands out in front of you and feel the love that you have experienced filling your hands, and feel it radiating from your face. It's right there in your hands. And yours is the face of love. Ideally, you would practice this for 5, 10 minutes. And in that way, accustom your body to being literally in love. In a similar way, there's another attribute which supports unconditional kindness. And that might be characterized by the name Qadir, which means the able, the capable, sometimes referred to as a source of power. And here, the images that you would open, that you would contemplate, the images and the scenarios would be images and scenarios of confidence, simply because it's one thing to feel kindness, it's another thing to be kind, to have the courage and the confidence to meet the moment. Whatever it is that is being asked of you, to say, I can do that. We won't do this contemplation here for the sake of time, but I encourage you to give that a try as well. Bring to mind images of skillful means. Allow the feeling of confidence to be in your bloodstream, in your lungs. And when you open your eyes, let your body feel that confidence in your chest, in your core, in your belly. You can find more detailed instruction for this practice, as well as a bit more of an explanation of the philosophical basis of this practice on the website. If you go to livingsufism.com and click on the Vacant Body in the program listing, you'll find there's a multimedia presentation there called The Divine Body. I encourage you to have a look at that. It's yet one more way to access, enliven, awaken your body, recognizing that The body is everything. If you take anything away from this experience, what I hope it will be is the question: how real is something that isn't in your body? How real can something be that isn't embodied? Gabriel?
Gabriel, you're muted.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Paran. Dear friends, I'd like to share with you some reflections on body and soul by some great Sufi teachers. You will find these poetic words and the names of their authors on the webpage for today's Living Sufism. Make yourself comfortable. Scan your body again. Take a deep breath. Let these reflections sink into your whole body, your heart, your soul. The soul is happy by nature. The soul is happiness itself. It becomes unhappy when something is the matter with its vehicle, its instrument, its tool, through which it experiences life. Care of the body, therefore, is the first and the most important principle of religion. People say that the soul, on hearing the song of creation, entered the body. But in reality, the soul itself was the song. The soul itself was the song. Our body is our veil in the world. We are like a sea hidden beneath straw. Water, stories, the body, all the things we do are mediums that hide and show what's hidden. The body in the zikr, the remembrance practice, moves beyond the borders and boundaries of consciousness, of language, of dualistic thinking. The body remembers itself to itself and its place in divinity and in history. Dance when you've broken open. Dance if you've torn the bandage off. Dance in the middle of the fighting. Dance in your blood. Dance when you're perfectly free. Dance. The wound is the place where the light enters you. The wound is the place where the light enters you. When you take off your clothes, remember to be thankful for your body underneath, whatever shape it is. It's your most tender lover. It's doing its best to swim upstream against the current of all this entropy. One day, it will give up, exhausted, and slip from you, like those clothes. And again, you'll be thankful for what's underneath. You'll be thankful for what's underneath. Every desire of your body is holy. when all your desires are distilled, you will cast just 2 votes: to love more and to be happy. To love more and be happy. I do not exist. I'm not an entity in this world or the next. Did not descend from Adam and Eve or any origin story. My place is placeless, a trace of the traceless. My place is placeless, a trace of the traceless. Neither body nor soul. I belong to the beloved, have seen the 2 worlds as one. Have seen the 2 worlds as one. And that one call to and know, first, last, outer, inner. Only that breath-breathing human being. Only that breath-breathing human being. Thank you. For our final section of today's Living Sufism, I invite Bashira.
Thank you, Gabriel. That was beautiful. Let's be still for a moment. Just breathe and take that in. Now take an inventory of your body. How's it feeling? How's your heart? Your abdomen? Your spine? Just notice. We've seen many facets of the body, how it receives and responds to the vast complexity of life, of rhythms, melodies, and the art of contemplation generate and radiate both call and response. Our body is part of a manifestation which exists on multiple nested levels simultaneously. It's nothing short of the miraculous. To describe our perception in a very simplistic fashion, we could make a distinction between what we perceive to be out there and what's inside us. But the means of perception are radically different on the outside than on the inside. We use our 5 senses in the outside world effortlessly, but are slower to perceive that the bodies we inhabit are also the hosts for a rich inner world. From a young age, we may enter the inner body through the doorway of emotion. We may say we're angry, but what we mean is that we are experiencing a set of inner sensations, which our culture has labeled in total as anger. Whenever we focus our attention on sensations themselves, without adding the labeling, we put ourselves in the way of discovering sensations so subtle and new that they don't tie to any nameable emotion. This is the realm we'll be addressing. For many, this is a familiar move. I first came across it when Elias introduced the inner bow as the first move in the welcoming practice in his Being Mortal retreat in 2020. While we sometimes refer to these inner sensations as subtle, since practice may be required before we can discern them, the inner bow for me was indisputably not subtle, with a sensation more like a somersault. Well, there's absolutely no guarantee that anyone's inner bow will elicit the same response as anyone else. I'll speak a little more about mine because I want to call attention to two things that might be useful. First, my experience of the bow has a direction. I feel the movement as downward and extended outward in front of me. The downward portion like the direction of a bow. Your bow may have a direction too, but the direction might be different. Nevertheless, it's something to pay attention to. Second, following this reversal of equilibrium caused by the initial somersault, there emanates for me, downward and outward in front of me, tendrils of sensation. The components of the sensation are familiar, yet at the same time indescribable. They're complicated, with a lot of feelings braided together. So interesting and compelling are these inner sensations that my thinking mind is completely forgotten. If you too feel a stirring of inner sensation, whether it goes somewhere like mine appears to do, or stays right in one place, remain with those inner sensations for as long as they can be sensed. When we physically bow, we bring our heads low. In some traditions, putting foreheads on the ground or kissing the earth. By lowering our head, which is where we often think we are housed, we humble ourselves in recognition of something else, something bigger or higher than we are. We surrender to something other than ourselves. The inner bow has the same connotations. In that vein, I use the inner bow regularly in my daily life. Whether I'm stuck in traffic or about to walk into a situation I'm anticipating to be tricky, I simply bow to the situation. When I do this, I leave my ideas of being in control behind. I hand over agency to the situation itself, letting it direct me in that moment. In so doing, I respond from a place of unknowing, allowing my ego to retire. Generally, it's quite relieved to take a back seat to the proceedings. When we begin meditation with the inner bow, we're bowing to the practice we are entering into. We're putting our trust in the process, paying deference to it as teacher. In this way, the move becomes a bridge from the outer world we think we know to the inner body, which remains largely unexplored. Once the tendrils start to unfurl, Following them takes us deeper and deeper until they gradually fade away. We've come to the end of the trail. Here, we're deep in the liminal, the body that lies beyond, between, outside of thoughts, and relates to us through the coming and going of sensations, ever changing, unless, of course, mind grasping and analysis intercede. And should that happen, we simply bow again and repeat as often as needed, remembering, though, that the bow is only the beginning of a journey that lies in following. So, my friends, my long preamble is over and it's time for your journey to begin. We're going to do this together. Here are your instructions. Perform an inner bow. That's it. Just close your eyes, perform an inner bow, and pay attention to how it feels inside you. You can bow to today's presentation, to what is coming up next for you, to disturbances in your equilibrium, or to the inner body that you will discover on the other end of that bow. Anything will do. Just close your eyes and bow yourself out. The meeting will end while you, absorbed in following your inner sensations, find your way to the place where the trail ends. Once there, sit quietly, curious, and observant of what emerges. Repeat the bow if thoughts creep in. Here's one final note. Don't be surprised if, after a certain time, you pop out of the deep place like a cork. That happens. You can stop at that point, or bow once more and dive back in. Here we go. Happy trails, beloveds.